What would happen if our sinful people were punished by being deported to a foreign land? Would God possibly bless those who repented there? Let's look at 2 Kings 25. What happened to Zedekiah as the king of Babylon destroyed Jerusalem? In the 9th year of his reign, in the 10th month, on the 10th day of the month, Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, came with all his army against Jerusalem and laid siege to it, and they built siege works all around it. So the city was besieged till the 11th year of King Zedekiah. On the 9th day of the 4th month, the famine was so severe in the city that there was no food for the people of the land. Then a breach was made in the city, and all the men of war fled by night by the way of the gate between the two walls, by the king's garden, and the Chaldeans were around the city, and they went in the direction of the Arabah. But the army of the Chaldeans pursued the king, and overtook him in the plains of Jericho, and all his army was scattered from him. Then they captured the king, and brought him up to the king of Babylon at Riblah, and they passed sentence on him. They slaughtered the sons of Zedekiah before his eyes, and put out the eyes of Zedekiah, and bound him in chains, and took him to Babylon. What happened to Jerusalem and her people, except for some of the poorest among them? On the 7th day of the 5th month, which was the 19th year of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guards, a servant of the king of Babylon, entered Jerusalem. He burned the Lord's temple, the king's palace, and all the houses of Jerusalem. He burned down all the great houses. The whole Chaldean army with the commander of the guards tore down the walls surrounding Jerusalem. Nebuzaradan, the commander of the guards, deported the rest of the people who were left in the city, the deserters who had defected to the king of Babylon, and the rest of the population. But the commander of the guards left some of the poorest of the land to be vine dressers and farmers. What did the Babylonians do to the temple in Jerusalem and its contents? The Chaldeans also broke into pieces and carried back to Babylon the bronze pillars that stood in the Lord's temple, along with the stands and the bronze sea that used to be in the Lord's temple. They also confiscated the pots, shovels, snuffers, spoons, and the rest of the bronze vessels that were used in ministry. The captain of the guard also confiscated the firepans, basins, and whatever had been crafted of pure gold and pure silver. The bronze contained in the 2 pillars, the one sea and the stands that Solomon had crafted for the Lord's temple, could not be inventoried for weight. The height of one of the pillars was 18 cubits, and the capital on top of it was 3 cubits high. A lattice work carved in the form of pomegranates encircled the capital, crafted completely out of brass. The second pillar was identical to the first. What did the king of Babylon do to many of the leaders of Judah? And the captain of the guard took Seraiah, the chief priest, Zephaniah, the second priest, and the 3 keepers of the door, and out of the city he took an officer that was set over the men of war, and 5 men of them that were in the king's presence, which were found in the city, and the principal scribe of the host, which mustered the people of the land, and 70 men of the people of the land that were found in the city. And Nebuzaradan, captain of the guard, took these, and brought them to the king of Babylon to Riblah. And the king of Babylon smote them, and slew them at Riblah, in the land of Hamath. So Judah was carried away out of their land. What did the Babylonian governor Gedaliah promise the remnant who remained in the land of Judah? What happened to Gedaliah? Now as for the people who were left in the land of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon had left, he appointed Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, over them. Then all the commanders of the military forces, they and their men, heard that the king of Babylon had appointed Gedaliah governor. So they came to Gedaliah to Mizpah, namely Ishmael the son of Nethaniah, and Johanan the son of Kareah, and Sariah the son of Tanhumeth the Netophathite, and Jaazaniah the son of the Maacathite, they and their men. Then Gedaliah swore to them and their men, and said to them, Don't be afraid of the servants of the Chaldeans. Live in the land, and serve the king of Babylon, and it'll be well with you. But it happened in the 7th month that Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, the son of Elishama, of the royal seed, came with 10 men and struck Gedaliah down so that he died, along with the Jews and the Chaldeans who were with him at Mizpah. Then all the people, both small and great, and the commanders of the military forces arose and went to Egypt, for they were afraid of the Chaldeans. Jewish tradition indicates that Jehoiakim possibly repented of his sins. Is that perhaps why God gave him favor in the eyes of the next king of Babylon? How was he blessed? Now it came about in the 37th year of the exile of Jehoiakim, king of Judah, in the 12th month, on the 27th day of the month, that Evil-Merodach, king of Babylon, in the year that he became king, released Jehoiakim, king of Judah, from prison, and he spoke kindly to him, and set his throne above the throne of the kings who were with him in Babylon. So Jehoiakim changed his prison clothes, and had his meals in the king's presence regularly all the days of his life, and as his allowance, a regular allowance was given to him by the king, a portion for each day all the days of his life. How does the parable of the prodigal son help us understand God's attitude towards a repentant sinner? So he got up and went to his father, but while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him and kissed him. The son said to him, Father, I've sinned against heaven and against you. I'm no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. So they began to celebrate. What would happen if our sinful people were punished by being deported to a foreign land? Would God possibly bless those who repented there? You decide.